Hi guys, it's Beth. Welcome. It is time again to share my projects that I made for the Smash That Small Paper Pad collaboration. This is a collaboration hosted by Deb Houck's Crafty Cottage, and it is focused on using pads smaller than 12 by 12. This month I used the Parklane Woodland pad. It is a 6 by 8 inch pad. And it had 24 sheets and it was full when I started, and now it's not. So I started with some scrapbook pages. As many of you know, if you follow me, I am on a quest to finish scrapbooking the years 2013 and 2014 by the end of 2021. So anytime I can get some pages made as part of one of my collaborations, I am all over it. So this is a layout from 2013, and it is Avery, my youngest. And it was just like some random pictures of her from fall of that year. And so I focused on the little cutesy animal cut-aparts that were in the pad, like the little bunny that says "so cute," and then there's "nuts about you," and the bear with all the hearts. And then I did use two papers from that pad, as well as one of like the border strip cut-aparts. And then I just brought in some stickers from my stash that kind of coordinated. So I am counting this "Nuts About You" as my title. It doesn't stand out overly much, but anytime I can use part of the pad as my title, I kind of jump on that too, especially because by the time I got all the pictures on here, there wasn't a whole lot of space left. So I just used that cut apart as my title. And then I do have two of these layouts that are similar, one for my album, one for her album. Again, same papers used. I just used a couple of different stickers and embellishments from my stash. And then I challenged myself to come up with at least one more layout from this pad. And so I focused on, this is from 2014, and my husband had built some. I don't know if you're familiar with the show American Ninja Warriors. It is like obstacle based, and it's been around for a while. And so my husband had built some obstacles just because he wanted to kind of try it out and play on them a little bit. And so my girls had fun playing with them as well. So there was a cut apart in here that said "Be Brave." So I thought that kind of fit with the obstacles that, kind of having the courage to try them out. And so I used this cut apart as my title on this page. And then there was another little cut apart that said "Looking Sharp." And so I thought, well, I could kind of tie that in. And then I happened to be at Hobby Lobby that day, and I had found a little set of stickers that had bears on it and the little hedgehog. So I thought, ooh, perfect. I didn't have any, I was struggling for embellishments on these pages. And so I was happy to find something that I could kind of tie into the animals that I had already used. So I pulled in, this is two pages from the pad, and I just pulled them in because they weren't really fallish, and they had like kind of a rainbow of colors. And then I did bring in like another scrap just to kind of use it up. And then this is just a random sticker that I had in my stash. And then I brought in some other stars to kind of go with the kind of athlete star theme. So same thing on this layout, just some different stars, some different little animal stickers. So that was a struggle getting that second layout, just based on the patterns that I had left in that pad. So I did make some cards as well, and I did do some fall themed cards, and then I tried to make some non-fall themed cards from this as well. So this is one where I just took, these are all A2 size white card bases. So I just took two straps that I had that were kind of strips, covered the seam here in the middle with another strip, layered some scraps on, and then this was a printed sentiment image that I had in my stash already. And then I felt it needed a little bit something else, so I brought in some leaves that kind of tied in with the orange over here, and all of my cards do have scraps on the inside. Another card similar in that style, just some different strips, Brought in a pumpkin here to put on that yellow gingham, and then I added a hello sentiment down here, and then some leaf stickers. This is another one of those cut aparts like the Be Brave. This one says be kind, and I just kind of pulled in some greens and blues, layered them up. I did use some sketches. This one is My Favorite Things, sketch number 352. And I made 4 of these. They're all kind of like similar papers, just different kind of variations of combinations of patterns, colors, and images. I was just kind of using some of the sentiments and images that I had. Brought in a sticker on this one. And then this, if you watched my recent Our House collection project share, this was a sticker and cut apart that I had left that I just combined. And I was like, ooh, I can actually bring it in here. Like it has some similar colors. So I just brought that in there. Paper Play sketches number 17. And this, I decided the colors in here kind of made me think of boy. And so I did a little boy's birthday card with these, with the animals and that plaid. And this is a sentiment that I had in my stash. It was originally printed from my silhouette, and I just colored in the balloon with a green to coordinate. So I made 2 of those. And that's what I was saying. I was trying to make some non-fall cards. This is Mojo Monday, sketch 361. Here I used the same 2 patterns for the squares on here, and then just brought in some different embellishments. So this is an ephemera piece that I had in my stash. I believe it actually came in some Happy Mail from Teresa Russell last year. So I thought that worked. And then this also came from Teresa Russell, my favorite sunflowers. And I didn't do anything else on there. Again, I just kind of felt the sunflower, kind of made the card there and let it be the star. This is SC 355. I did 2 of these. I used one of the cut aparts. I didn't really like the sentiments on their cut aparts for cards, and most of them didn't really work with my scrapbook pages either. So they were cute, but they just didn't work for me. So that was a challenge. So luckily the paper was reversible. So this is one of the cut aparts, and then this behind it is the back side of another cut apart that I didn't use. Like there's just like a little bit of frame of like a light blue pattern. And then the green check is also the back side of another cut apart sheet. And then I just brought in 2 other strips that kind of coordinated with those. And then these are just some more scrap cards. Here were 2 scrap pieces that I put together, covered the seam here with the striped paper, and then I felt it was like would make a nice guy card. And so I found this in my stash, this little cute birthday, and it is like a layered 3D embellishment. And so then I just added happy birthday at the bottom. So I know the colors aren't like great on here, but I don't think they look bad. I think it kind of works, goes with the whole male theme. This is another ephemera piece that I got from Teresa. Just kind of added it onto these strips and then pulled in some green leaves from a sticker sheet. And then this was kind of the last one where I just brought in some of the squares I had left, a strip of that polka dot paper, and then this Hello Friend was a cut apart as well, like a tiny cut apart. And then just brought in some brown vinyl circles as embellishments. And then I have some other small projects. For the Smash Our Stash collaboration, we were focusing on flowers for the month of September. And so I took some of the orange polka dot paper, actually has that plaid on the back. I just took these and used a mason jar die that I had and cut the tops out of like that kind of goldish brown wood grain. And then the polka dot was the jar, and then I had just added some of those pretty fall flowers from my stash. So just some fun fall embellishments that I can add back into my stash. And then I was inspired by Toby over at Bitty Penny here on YouTube to try some hidden paper clips for bookmarks. So this paper is a little thin, so it didn't work as well as I would have liked it to for these, but these have paper clips on the inside, and then they can be bookmarks, or they can be like a journal page marker, or they can just be a page topper for a journal. I might actually use some of these to help hold like my paperwork together for my Etsy orders that I send out. So I have a handful of these. I was just using some of the strips that I had left over, and then I used some cut aparts and some stickers to embellish them a little bit. But I don't like it because you can see the paper clip, like it was just really thin, and I was really focusing on trying to use up the paper. Otherwise, I probably, if I were like going to sell these, I would make sure I would use like a thicker cardstock to just hide that would help hide the shape of the paper clip a little bit better, I think. But anyway, I just had a strip and a little cut apart, and then I did tie a little bit of ribbon on top of the paper clip before I pushed it down. And I will try and find Toby's or Bitty Penny's video and link that down below for you. She does show you how to do it, and I also checked out some other videos just to kind of see different ways to do it, how I could use some of the scraps that I had left. And then this one, it was one I had experimented with, and so it's a little different, but you can see that the paper clip is here on the inside, and this will still work even though it's made differently. Like, it'll still be a bookmark. It's not gonna fall off. Ellie had already claimed this one, so I decided to experiment on hers. Just added a little seam binding to the top. So I got like about 6 of those. And then there were some small patterns in here that I thought would make pretty nail file holders. And I like the smaller patterns for these because you don't see a whole lot of it on any part of it because it's just like, it's a really thin holder. And so I just made the holders and then tried to decorate them up. So these two, I just punched some flowers out of scrap pieces that I had left. This is like this off-white flower was also a scrap from the pad, and then just added a pink little rhinestone on there to jazz it up a little bit. This one I added a strip scrap that I had left, and then a white punch circle, and then a little orange butterfly. And then this one, I had one little animal cut apart left, so I added the raccoon, went over it with some Wink of Stella, and it's backed on some of that yellow gingham, and then just added a little white strip of ribbon there. So all of that, and then I did have a couple of usable scraps left that I didn't use. So feel pretty good that that is all I had left, and I got the nail file holders, the scrapbook pages, the bookmarks, the jars, and all of the cards. So that is what I have for you today from my small paper pad. There are other collaborators listed in the description box below with links to their channels, and you can go and see what pads they are working on and what they made with theirs this month. But I thank you guys so very much for your time today, and hope you all have a very crafty day.